Hello, welcome back to How to D&D. Today is Dungeon Master preparation, so I have a presentation, but today is a work day. This is the day that we get together as Dungeon Masters and we actually create something. I have suggested and considered that it would be good to do something around Christmas, but that's not going to happen even though I've got a thumbnail up there unless people are invested in doing this, because otherwise it would be pointless. I will put up a poll so that you can answer whether you want to do that sort of thing. Otherwise, we'll do something completely different, and I will just change out the thumbnail and the title. So I'm fine with doing that. That's not an issue. So the intention today is we will make a series of magic items as part of Dungeon Master preparation, things that you can include in your game without too much difficulty. I will be doing a slideshow presentation, the same one that I've been doing before in the past. Then I'll open it up. It's a fairly quick one. This one, I will open it up to Q&A or questions and answers, and then we will spend most of our time with me on Google Docs typing stuff out. I would suggest grabbing some dice. You'll need percentile dice for this because we're going to use potentially a trinket table depending on how people respond. In any case, pardon me, I'm going to crack into this, unplug myself, get some food, some drink, make sure you're comfortable, get your pens and your pencils ready if you feel that will be helpful to you. But yes, you certainly need to fire up those brains because we're going to do a lot of work today. Right, where am I? Have I got it all? How's it going, Noroak and Nacho Man, both patrons? Thank you for coming. Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, because I usually do talk about Dungeons and Dragons. Today it's all about Dungeon Master preparation. This is Lesson 5, Creating Magic Items. I know people want to create magic items, so I've decided that I needed to cover this topic. The overview, what we will cover for today, is how to create magic items, creating balanced magic items, magic item inspirations, how do you get those ideas, the process of making a magic item, and some miscellaneous recommendations. Like everything I do, I try to explain everything to you as clearly as possible. I will demonstrate, and I want you to participate. I want you to take part as well. All part of the learning process. If you didn't know, on D&D Beyond, this is a website you can sign up for free. You can actually make your own magic items. They have a tool online that allows you to do this. Now, how do you create magic items for your game, particularly with regard to something like Dungeons and Dragons? Although this can apply to any roleplay game, frankly, there are a couple of things we want to consider when we're making our own magic items. And I would say the first thing on how to create your magic items is often the creation of a magic item will result in a string of problems for a dungeon master or a game master. Players will generally want more powerful magic items. They want more options from their magic items. They want to find magic items in their game. Absolutely, they want those things. And it absolutely affects the Dungeon Master preparation process. And it has some fairly significant development issues, okay? So as a Dungeon Master, as you're preparing and developing your stuff, it creates a lot of challenges you weren't expecting, or some you may be expecting. Magic items can drive the Dungeons and Dragons campaign forward if the Dungeon Master makes it a major feature of the actual campaign or the adventure by making it MacGuffin. This is not a McMuffin, it's a MacGuffin. Start small is my recommendation to you. Start small, incorporating your homebrew magic items very slowly to reduce the number of issues that will occur. You won't eliminate your issues, but you can certainly reduce the number of problems that you have to deal with at the game by going slow. Creating balanced magic items. What does that look like? It's not actually practical to create a magic item that is balanced in the game of Dungeons & Dragons 5e, as characters don't actually need magic items in the game to be successful. They just don't need them. Now, something like Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 or 4e required that characters have magic items to keep up with the monsters in the game, but that's not the case with 5e. So that presents a whole lot of issues for you with regard to trying to balance things. The power of a magic item from greatest to lowest is more like this. So when you're thinking about power output, I want you to start at the top end. The top end is anything that gives them mobility, followed by anything that grants them extra magical power. And then after that, I would say something that gives them some sort of specific magical effect. And then next would be martial combat magical effects. And then lastly, the least powerful usually tend to be miscellaneous utility functions. Magic weapons and armor and combat-focused items will generally generate the most issues. So it's not wise to start this out as your point of entry, okay? Since these are the things that are probably going to give you the most problems, these are the things that are highly desired by players, don't start with this. Utility magic items are the best to create for a player character as they have the least effect on the game and they don't usually affect the combat and counter design process. They will affect other parts of the game, but not combat. Common magic items tend to be at the lowest power level, so that's a good place to start. So start with common magic items when you're creating stuff for your game. The power of a magic item can be adjusted over time if you start very low, so with low rarity, and then over time you can increase the power if you need to. So starting low and increasing the power over time. This will avoid seriously overpowered magic items, otherwise it's very difficult to get an overpowered magic item back out of the game, particularly if the players don't want to give it up, and this can definitely happen at your table. Inspiration for magic items. What does that look like? Where can we get our inspiration for making our magic items? Well, I'm going to suggest one of the best places to go is definitely Harry Potter movies, the Harry Potter books. They have great examples of very simple magic items that do all sorts of fun effects. After that, I would say Xanathar's Guide to Everything. There are examples of common utility magic items here. There's some odd effects, and you'll find most of the stuff in Xanathar's Guide to Everything on page 135 to 140. This is a good starting point. Trinkets in the player's handbook have potential. So taking the trinkets from the player's handbook and giving them a magical effect will actually be really useful to you. Older versions of Dungeons & Dragons had a whole lot of magic items that you can port over into your game. Novels on fantasy, science fiction that include magic items, I would steal any of those. Historical magic items from mythology and legends are also a good point of call. And then computer games, video games, they also have magic items you might be able to use as well. I find that most of the computer game and video game magic items are simply duplications of something we've seen in other types of pop culture or literature. So you're not necessarily getting something hugely original here. They are usually rehashed from somewhere else. But if that's your only staple, the only point that you can draw from, then by all means, try that out, see how it works for you. The process of making a magic item. What does the process of making a magic item actually look like in your game? I'm going to say right now, give your magic item an interesting or obvious name to tell part of the story of the object or indicate the function of your magic item. So the name of the magic item is actually really important. Create a magical effect that has a benefit and or a detrimental effect. So when you make magic items, they don't always have to be beneficial. Some of them might be detrimental. Now you can use the minor and major beneficial properties that are listed on page 219 of the Dungeon Master Guide for 5e, if you want that sort of thing. If you want minor and major detrimental properties, you'll find those listed on page 220 to 221 of the Dungeon Master Guide for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. And then minor properties and quirks are listed on page 143 of the Dungeon Master Guide. As you can see, a lot of this information is actually scattered around, so it's a bit hard to find in the Dungeon Master Guide, unfortunately. What is the history or intent of the magic item? There are some ideas that you can port over from the Dungeon Master Guide on page 142. So the history behind a magic item might be significantly important, particularly if you are making this magic item around your adventure or campaign. Determining the power level of your magic item by using the rarity table on page 285 of the Dungeon Master Guide. This is where it shows you how to make magic items, crafting and building magic items, so you're going to need this information. Selecting the appropriate rarity for the magic item helps define the power of your magic item. So make sure you do this first off and then stay with it. Attunement of a magic item helps stop player characters stacking too many powerful stuff, effects or stuff together. Attunement is best assigned to a magic item that has a permanent effect, and don't rush out of and just assign a whole lot of magic items that don't have attunement. Okay, it's easy to take attunement away. It's harder to put it back in because players feel like that's nerfing their character, and apparently nerfing a character is deemed by some people to be a bad thing. So anything that is a permanent effect or doesn't run out of a magical effect, you'll find you'll probably want to assign attunement to. Does the magic item have charges? Does it have a permanent effect? Or is it a single-use item? In other words, is it a consumable magic item that you use only once, and once you've used it, it's finished and done with? These are all the questions you sort of need to answer and fill out as you're going when you're making your magic item. Now, whenever I do a class like this, I usually talk about miscellaneous recommendations. So the first thing I want to say is expect to make mistakes when you are making your own magic items. Okay, magic item creation can be a bit tricky, and there are too many things in play for you to be able to do this and not make mistakes. Everybody does. It is fine to take existing magic items and reskin them. It's the same sort of thing, okay? It's the same item, it just is called something else, and maybe it has some other different flavor attached to it. There is, in fact, no mathematical formula to magic item creation. So if you were looking for a mathematical formula, a guide that was perfect, that does everything that you want, that will ensure that you never get a magic item that you have created as a homebrew item that will cause you problems in the game, I'm sorry, it does not exist. Okay, anybody telling you is selling you a false truth. It does not exist. Why is this? It's because your players will figure out stuff. They will find a way to exploit a magic item. Players are quite creative at times, and you give enough people time to figure these things out, and you have enough brains involved, between 4 and 5 brains in fact, they will amongst themselves figure out how to take an item that you thought was quite innocent and turn it into a weapon of mass destruction. It's just an unfortunate fact. So don't get worried when this happens, because it does happen to literally everybody at some point. Now, I'm hoping that this was useful to you, and if it was, fantastic. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section. If you have any feedback, put it into the comments section. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Right, give me a second. I will just have a drink of water, and I will we'll skip on over to our task at hand, which is talk to chat and then start building magic items, which is what I'm here for. This is today's endeavor. Okay. I see somebody in the chat that I need to talk to, which is great. I'm glad to see. I want to have a look at this this poll. This poll is going to be kind of important because this determines whether we continue with this venture or we just make magic items and we don't worry about a theme. But I thought it would be nice to have a theme for today. As my eyes are only slightly better with the glasses on. It's like one or two of the other. Anyway, let's have a look here. Do you want to make Christmas magic items for Dungeons & Dragons 5e? We've got 75% said yes. Nobody said no. Undecided 12%, just watching 12%. Okay, so it's not as bad. I mean, there's 8 votes, so it's not a lot of votes, but that's all right. I can live with that. So we'll make some magic items that are kind of Christmas themed. They don't necessarily, I mean, even though they might be themed, they don't necessarily need to be tied to the Christmas holiday. Okay, so when we're naming these magic items, we're not necessarily going to call them the Christmas something. Do you know what I mean? Or the Xmas something, or Santa's blah blah, unless you're absolutely sure of doing something like that. In any case, I just want to say hi again to Noroak, who is a patron and supports me on Patreon. Now, for those of you who don't know, everything that we make today, everything that I do here in these live streams goes onto Patreon. You can pay as little as $1 a month. That's how you support this continuing every single week. Okay, is on Patreon. All of those documents, they are not designed to be fully fleshed, set in concrete documents where you get a final product. They are here on Patreon for you to take and modify. Okay, what we do here is a starting point, and then you put your spin on it, because everybody's going to put their own spin on something. Okay. Otherwise, super chats and super stickers are always welcome in terms of sort of, keeping this class going, because I want this class to be an ongoing process. Nacho Man, also a patron. Hello, how are you? Fender, hello, Fender. How are you? Also a patron and also a moderator. Tested positive to COVID today. Oh, well, that's not good, Nacho. I hope you get well soon. So yeah, look after yourself. That picture just gave me an idea. A flying sleigh with a trunk boot that has an enhanced version of bag of holding. Okay. Nora, we could make a trunk or that is basically a bag of holding. I mean, it also feels a little bit like Fantastic Beasts, like, doesn't it? Like a suitcase. It almost feels like you want a suitcase rather than a bag. We could have a suitcase. That's not hard to do. That's just a reskin. Tabletop Bob, hello, how are you? Now, for those of you who don't know about Tabletop Bob, he runs a YouTube channel, does a lot of live play, and how are you doing? So, can I find your channel, Bob? I hope I can. Let me just see if I can hunt you down. Tabletop Bob. Tabletop Bob joined the Dungeon Master Roundtable. I'm hoping that we will get a chance to get together again in the new year. Hasn't happened yet, but I'm still hopeful that will take place. Anyway, it's up. There we go. There's your channel up and there. Let me have a look. What else have we got here? We're going to get moving in a second, people, because there's a lot to do, and I want it, the more time we spend actually making, the better. So, Norike, your idea we're probably going to poach pretty soon. Okay. So, where else? Nacho. I gave my PC a Berserk Axe, a cursed item that required attunement, and I used these spell cards. Okay. Spellbook cards and put it in the envelope. And just okay. Nice. All right. He loved it. Look, not everything needs to be a super powerful item. Okay. How's it going, Spirit Wolf? How are you? Okay, let's get on with the job. Today is a work day, right? This is not a day where I'm supposed to be piddling around, so we're not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be jumping between a couple of different pages, primarily because I want to... Oh, this is going to be awkward. Well, I think maybe if I put it... No, we'll make this bigger. Put it on that side. Up the top. Is it up the top? Up the top. On the right. Okay, so up the top on the right, that's where I need to be. Okay, so let's just find that work page. Windows. Oh dear, what's happened here? Oh, that's right, I shrunk it. On the top, up the top. Okay, and then expand it, and then I get the window capture, go to here. Just bear with me, and we're almost ready. So that's that one. And we will enlarge that just a little bit. I wonder if I can get away with going a low end. Probably not. Just the layout of the two is different. That's the big issue. Okay, we're going to be working here on this page the most, so this is probably more important to make sure that I'm not in the way. So I'm going to go over to the other side. At the top. Shrink myself down a little bit, and then that should help avoid me getting in the way. There, roughly something like that. Okay, let's see if that works. Does that look about right? Sorry about this. Just from readjustment, because I did some fiddling with it last time, and so yeah, that'll probably work better for us for today. So starting off with this as our point of call, I believe that we already had a fairly good idea presented by somebody in the chat. I'll pull up my phone, and we'll get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the trinkets table from Icewind Dale, because I want you to be able to use these magic items in your games. I don't want them to have any issues around whether you'll be able to use them or not. We're going to try to aim for common magic items or uncommon magic items. More common means more people can use them. The higher we go in terms of rarity, the more powerful they become, the more likely we won't be able to use them all the time. A flying sleigh, not slay. That's right, Norok. I understand what you're trying to say here. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to... Will I just pull the section out that you've given me on that? Because you've kind of said everything you needed to. But you've also... no, we actually don't. We probably don't need to do that. So let's go with the name. So we're going to put here, it is a suitcase. Suitcase? I guess it's a suitcase. Suitcase? Possibly a suitcase. Suitcase of holding. Actually, we can cheat. We can literally... Do we want to call it a suitcase of holding? I mean, we could turn it into something. We could call it something else. I could go into D&D Beyond, pull up that magic item, and we could just make a quick chuck it in, and she's done. And that's your first thing selected for today. Bag of holding. Bag of holding. So here we go. Let's start rolling some dice, people. Hashtag roll percentile dice. I'm using the Icewind Dale chart, and we'll start the process. We'll go random. I like using the trinkets table. I feel like it's a good way of getting some ideas. Sometimes they present like a good sort of starting point. Sometimes they just like nothing. But that's right. That's right, Nacho. You go to sleep. Okay. Have a good have a good snooze. So bag of holding, uncommon, wondrous magic items. So we'll go here. We'll just do that. We'll go over to our magic item here, and actually we'll just go this. Cut this. Put that here. Take this. Drop that down. We can drop this in very quickly. This is essentially what I mean by a just a reskin. That's all it is. We're not doing anything particularly fancy here. It's just reskinning an existing magic item. Arial, what's this? And it's 12. Okay, so it's a little bit bigger. So we'll take out the formatting. Arial 2. Okay, that's good. That's fine. And then the rest of it is all here. And we just need to make some adjustments to it. And it's done. And people are rolling some dice. Good. Glad to see that. Oh, by the way, Fender. I don't know whether you can tell me or not. I know you've been interested in doing timestamps for my Dungeons and Dragons Monster Lore videos, the edited versions. Tell me, I mean, should I make those breaks where I put my memes in? Should I make it a little bit shorter? I've been aiming for about roughly 4 seconds, but if 4 seconds seems too much, or I need to edit out me drinking and slurping water, then I can probably do that. It will mean that you guys will get less stuff, but it can be done. But as I said, it also means okay, so we will eradicate that particular format. Is it? No, it's not the way I want to do it. It's yes, remove link. That's it, remove the link. Portable halt, we're going to remove the link again. We'll make a few adjustments. Yeah, percentage dice. The percentage dice is what we're aiming for. Okay, this suitcase Now we could make it, do you want it to be a suitcase or do you want it to be a trunk that we put on the back of the sled? I mean, that's the question now. So maybe what I won't do is I won't do anything with this, pardon me, until you make it clear what you want me to do. Is this a suitcase of holding, or is this going to be a trunk of holding? I feel like a trunk is a suitcase. It's just a big suitcase. But yeah, so somebody's going to let me know. Okay, so let's have a look at some numbers that you guys have been punching in because you've been doing that. Let's go over to our Icewind Dale. Icewind Dale, here we go. Icewind Dale, and we got some numbers. The first number we have here, the Spirit Wolf has rolled up. A car trunk, yeah. Well, I mean, so Norok, if you want it to be a trunk, we can make it a trunk. I think what you mean is a sled that has a trunk to it. I think that causes more problems than it's worth to have a sled that flies and has a trunk. I'm not against the idea of creating a flying sled. So if you sleigh, one of those. If you want to make one, we'll make one. It won't be that hard. Fender. If it will take too much time, we're cutting out some of the stuff, but it makes time stamping the videos easier as it is. So yeah, so one of the reasons why I put those gaps in there is for YouTube to put ads in so that they don't put them in really stupid places. Otherwise, they just put them everywhere in the most ridiculous place. So I deliberately leave those gaps in, but I can make those gaps 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. So you, Fender, you let me know if you think 4 seconds is too long, 3 seconds would be better, 2 seconds would be better. 1 second is kind of a waste of my time. It won't work. Anyway, let's have a look. So Spirit Wolf got 86. What is 86? 86 is a figure of a polar bear made of ice that never melts. That's interesting. Do we feel like, well, if we take a figurine like that never melts as our option and our working point, what else goes with this? Like how else does this play out? So we're going to go copy, paste, magical effect should be down here. So should that one. Right. Okay, so let's have a look here. Let's take this magical effect and let's see if we can do anything with it. Can I copy it? I can probably copy that. Just copy, take it, drop it over here under a magical effect. Has anybody got any ideas what you would do with a trinket like this? A figurine of a polar bear. I feel like it's got potential. It's just what is it going to be? I mean, that's the question. I definitely feel like it's got potential. I just don't know what sort of effect it's going to have in our game. We also got to decide on what sort of name it would have. Summons or an ice elemental. Way too powerful, Spirit Wolf. I'm pretty sure that if we look at something like summoning an ice golem, although cool and very Frozen-like, Frozen the movie I'm talking about, it's way too powerful. I mean, the reality is players would love it, but nobody in their right mind as a dungeon master is probably going to want to have to include something like that, because most of the summoning spells or conjuring spells, they're just too strong. I love playing wizards, but you include something like this, I mean, even if it's a single use item, it's still a bloomin' powerful item. I know that all of my players, when they had gems that allowed them to do that sort of thing, now summon spells. Why can't I find the summon spells? They conjure? What's the spell called? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's much higher than level 1. Without ripping off the figurine of wondrous power. Yeah. Just the craft. That's my concerns. Is just ripping off that is not really what I want to do. I'm happy to do it. Hello, David Rose. I just missed you. I see your name now. So yes, you can activate it to summon a polar bear as an ice elemental. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure that all of the summoning spells are just way too strong. I think it would even be stronger than something like a. I don't even think it would be classified as an uncommon item. I think it's going to be classified as something higher than that. Summon. So summon. I think it's that. I mean, the idea is cool. But is there another way we can use this that doesn't require it to be summoned to be used as a combat thing? Do you know what I mean? Because that's our biggest problem. It's a 4th level spell. Almost all of the summoning spells are 4th level, 5th level, 6th level. It's way too strong. Now, isn't there a summoned steed? Could we not turn the polar bear into a summoned mount? It wouldn't be a combat mount. It would just be a ride. So you could ride around on a polar bear. That would be kind of cool. It just comes down to, is it Find Steed? I think it's called Find Steed that the paladin has. Drop the temperature in the circle that figure walks. Okay, I see. That's another way of doing it. Summons a polar bear that has a 50 chance to do what you tell it to do, or 50 chance that it just wants to cuddle. Fender, yes, I get where you're coming from here. Find Steed might be the solution, though. You can activate it and summon a polar bear that is an ice elemental. Yeah. So let's have a look and see what Find Steed does. Because Find Steed, I don't think it's that powerful, and I think it would probably still be an uncommon magic item, but it wouldn't be quite so bad. Yeah, 2nd level spell, so it will still be an uncommon magic item. But I guess the other question is, are we essentially just stealing from an existing magic item that we already have? Could the polar bear create an igloo like a tiny hut? Yeah, but why are we using a polar bear figurine to create a tiny hut? I think that's the question, David Rose. I think that's where my head's at, is like, what's going on there? So let's go with magic items. What magic items do I have to contend with? What are we stepping on the toes of? I mean, sometimes it's fine to step on the toes of something. So figurine. Let's have a look and see what figurines we get. Figurine of Wondrous Power. And then we've got the Orcus figurine. Well, I don't want that. Figurine of Wondrous Power. Varies. Okay, so there's lots of different powered things. A goat of traveling can become a large goat with the statistics of a riding horse and has charges. Okay, in other words, somebody has already thought about the fact that it would be good to have something that you can ride. Use both figures of each up to 1 hour. Yeah. We've essentially just created a Wondrous Power one. Protection from fire spells. Spectral bear that grants a bonus to AC for a limited time. I'm not a fan of that idea. Thank you for keep throwing the ideas out until something sticks. Trials, once you've used it, it can't be used again. And whenever informed, the figure allows you to cast the no. Telecommunication, dark vision, yeah. I mean, the effect is not wrong. It's just does it fit what we're dealing with? I think if anything, I'm inclined to think that maybe the best way is to look at this as a ride rather than something else. Give it a specific duration. What's a reasonable duration to have? And then go from there. So let's have a look here. Find Steed. If you summon a spirit that assumes the form of a strong steed and a last bond, Okay. So I think that's probably the easiest way is we just make it a ride, like find steed, and yeah, and that's it. It's like you create it that way. Let's just take this portion here. Here's the form of, no, it doesn't take on the form that you choose. It's going to have to be a polar bear. This is that one there. So we'll make it as we're creating a ride basically for them. We're giving them a ride. We need a name for this thing. Okay, please don't say the figurine of polar bear. it's gonna be something a bit more than that. It's gonna be, it melts, and we're going to put this in here. This is normal text, but we're going to get rid of that formatting. And is it the right size? It's the right size. You summon a spirit. You summon the spirit. You summon a spirit of a polar bear. For how long? How long should it last? For, let's say we can have it for 8 hours. Was 8 hours, doesn't seem that bad. I mean, find steed is like it lasts for however long you want it to last for. So I don't think it's outside the realm of find steed. So we can do that, and it's going to take 10 minutes to actually create. So it's not something you're going to do in combat. You're just watching the Umberhawk video? Okay, cool. I'm hoping that it's working for you. Let me know. You tell me if those breaks that I put in there are too long, and I can shorten them, apparently. Okay. Magical effect. Figurine of a polar bear made of ice that never melts. You summon a spirit of a polar bear for 8 hours. That assumes the form of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed, creating a lasting bond with it. Okay. It takes 10 minutes for the steed to magic. Do we want it to take 10 minutes to magically, do we want, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if 10 minutes is necessary. I'm actually inclined to not even give it a time frame. Do we have to give it an action? We just need to state that it doesn't not, okay. This spirit mount doesn't fight in combat. But can be used as a form of transport. Whoops, sorry, transport. I think that's not too bad. I think we're all right with that. History, do we need to give it a history? We just need to give it a name. I need a name for our figurine. Name the ice. Name the ice polar bear figurine. Figure. Okay. I'll let you guys start thinking about names. Do we need to have a history? We don't need to worry so much about the power level. I think at this point we're actually not too bad. I will make it. It's going to be uncommon. It's a wondrous item, so we'll take this and cut it, copy it, stick it in here, paste it. What did I do? Cut, copy, paste. I've made a mistake. Let's try it again. It requires a ritual to summon, hence. I do not want it to become permanent. I guess in many respects, I don't want it to become a permanent thing. It is just one of those things where I can see Dungeon Masters not being terribly happy with that. You know me, I am trying to make stuff that isn't going to piss people off. And that's the one thing that concerns me potentially with an item like this. So let's go here. Snow Strider Stone. I think that's pretty good as a name. Let's go Snow Strider. It's not really a stone. Let's just call it the Snow Strider Bear. How's that? Question mark or beer? Or stone? I'll go stone. I'll go stone and I'll put down the second name. Or beer. I'll make that a question mark for now. So, get rid of the history. We've got the power rating. We've got the rarity. We're not going to... Do we need to make that... Do we have to give it attunement? Is it necessary to give it attunement? I don't really want to make it a single-use item. I think that's... I like the idea of making magic items for players that have a utility function, which make it easier for them to transport themselves, say in a snowy environment, like polar bear would be cool. Polar bear is an utterly ridiculous thing to try and ride in reality because it would eat you, and their back and their body's not designed to carry weight. But a spirit bear, polar bear, is a different story because that's a magical thing. It doesn't exist. The ice path. Yeah, David, you think that's better? I think that's all right. Look, if you let me know if you think that this thing needs to have attunement, I don't think that it does. I just think that it's just something we use. Charges per week. Oh, I don't know. Even if we give it a time frame. I'm reluctant to give it a number of charges. The reason being, Spirit Wolf is tracking. The Snow Strider Bear. That's what I was thinking, Noroak, is the Snow Strider Bear. What is that? Effigy. Ah, the Snow Strider Effigy. That's actually not bad. Actually, I'm kind of effigy. Now, why have I... Oh, effigy. That's why, because it's not... Okay, I got it spelt now. The Snow Strider Effigy. And it's a polar bear. I actually like that probably a lot. I'm going to take this name. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to go this way. People will let me know if they think that that's not very good or not. But I feel like that is a vast improvement on what we had before. Derry, hello, how are you doing? And they are superb swimmers and hunters. They are, that's right. The polar bear is actually very good. So I guess we have to ask ourselves, what stat block do they use for the polar bear in terms of like how fast it moves? I believe we have a polar bear already in Dungeons and Dragons, do we not? Now, that's the Dungeon Master Guide. I want the monster manual. Come on, yeah, give it to me. The monster manual might be the solution here because I'm pretty sure there's already a polar bear that they created as a stat block. Polar bear, or is it in a different book? Not the monster manual. Maybe it's not in the monster manual. Polar bear. Polar bear. Polar bear. There is a polar bear stat block. Sweet. Yes, it has attacks and so forth, but this thing doesn't attack. But it does have a swim speed, it has a walking speed, and really a lot of the other things won't really matter because we're just using it as a ride. Tracking. All we've done is eliminate the combat aspect, so it can do everything else. So we're not eliminating any of the other aspects of the polar bear, we're just eliminating that. You summon a spirit of a polar bear for 8 hours that assumes the form of an unusually intelligent, strong, and loyal steed, creating a lasting bond with it. The spirit mount doesn't fight in combat, but can be used as a form of transport or for other utility functions. Now, okay, so refer to the polar bear stat block in the monster manual. Okay, refer to the polar bear stat block in the monster manual. Okay, I think that got it. The golden compass. So, Spirit Wolf, you hadn't figured out where I was driving this. This is where I was driving it. You're exactly right. That's exactly where my head was at. When I was looking at this, I was thinking, the golden compass. We've got to do the golden compass. Because, like, how many people are not going to want to do this? I know they will. Oh, you want the page number as well? Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. David, I'm putting it in. Page 304. Okay. I think we've got it there, 304. Yes, so there it is. Okay, that's done. Let's go back and make sure our suitcase of holding, since we've decided it's going to be, I think it's a suitcase rather than a trunk as far as I can tell. So suitcase, larger than outside dimensions, roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet in, deep. The back, the suitcase, that's all it is. Not a very exciting item, if you ask me. The suitcase weighs so I think that's fine. Let's go suitcase. One of the very few movies I've seen. Eye opener. Yeah, well, a little bit on the eye opener. Yes, I agree. Okay, okay, so if we go suitcase again. The suitcase. Oh, a lot of suitcase replacement here going. Breathing creatures inside the suitcase. Oh, okay. Are we almost finished with the suitcase changing? Oh no, we've still got another one here. Suitcase. Oh. And I just want to move on to the next one. Handy haversack, portable hole, destroy an astral plane, gate originates another creature, any creature within 10 feet of it is sucked through it into a random location in the astral plane, and then closes, and the gate is only one way, it can't be reopened. Okay, alright, so essentially we've got that item nailed down. So we'll go bold, and we'll go bold here, and I'll get rid of this. I was thinking about the flat bag of holding only for storing slim items, and here it is. Yes, that's right. The Snow Strider effigy. I think that is where we're heading with this, but I'll leave that there for now. Okay, so drink of water, and we need to look at our next item. Something that is from the chats. Now, you guys rolled some numbers that I have not seen. We had the first number. We've already done the first number. So where were we? We had some numbers. We had 86. We got 30. So Nora, you got a... Let's see what this is going to look like. 30 from Noroak. What does 30 from Noroak look like? Are you... Yulu knife with a scrimshaw handle. I hate the idea. I don't know what am I supposed to do with this? No, nothing wrong with your number, Noroak. I don't know what to do with it. 5. What is 5? A pair of scrimshaw cufflinks with an image of a fisherman on a boat and carved on it. There's actually not that many of them here, is there? Let's just walk. Let's just forget about rolling the dice for a second. Let me just have a look at them. Let's see what we got in terms of ideas. If anything jumps out at you, any item jumps out at you, let me know, people. A small wooden figurine of a yawning walrus painted in red and black. Oh, we kind of got a figurine already. Yeah, and it's actually not as interesting as a polar bear figurine that's made of ice that never melts. Oh, that's much cooler. Yeah, it's not quite what I mean. There's a pun here, but I wasn't planning on that pun. Here we go. A small iron key with a frayed blue and gold cord tied to it. I don't know what to do with that. Key could do anything. A small illustrated book of Northlander myths that has pages missing. I'm not sure what I would do with that either. What about a stone from a buried carrion with a tiny dwarven rune carved into it? Does anything jump out at anybody? I'm not seeing anything. A ripped cloth sail with a symbol you can't recognize. Nah. A jar containing an unidentified sweet sticky substance. That could be anything under the sun. Mead. Oh, alcohol. Yes. Let's grab that. What sort of mead is it, and what does this mead do? We've got to be careful we don't wind up making an item that is an endless supply of alcohol, because I feel like at this time of the year it would be very easy to make an item like that. Maple syrup. I'm all with maple syrup. Mead, maple syrup. I can work with that one. I have a lot of maple syrup. Canadian maple syrup is the only reason I can have sweet things, frankly, because I can only have maple syrup. I can't have sugar. So, very useful as far as I'm concerned. A jar containing an unidentified substance. Okay. That's what we're going to go with. So let's. We need to find out what this is going to have. What sort of magical effect do you give to a jar of unidentified sweet sticky substance? Yeah, well, it could be honey, but like, what else are we doing with this thing? I think that's the question that I have floating through my mind. Is like, yeah, and what else? Yeah. I'm just that's all I'm thinking is like, what else do we do with it? Paste. Copy this. Copy. Make another copy down here. Protection from bears. Gotten to get Vermont maple syrup. Made it over my backyard fire before. Oh, okay, didn't realise. Protection from bears. I suppose you could make it protection from bears. Oh dear. I actually like the idea. I just don't know how to formulate this idea. I just don't know how to put it together in a cohesive manner. Didn't somebody a couple of days ago or a day ago mention something about mistletoe? As in missile... No, it was a magic mistletoe. Magic missile as a magic missile toe. So I was thinking magic mistletoe. It was actually not a bad idea as a magic item. I haven't even pulled this from that trinkets table, but I'm wondering if maybe we should make some magic mistletoe, like the plant, and give it a magical effect. Make an X amount of mammal friendly. Right? Okay. Well, it could be single use, and I guess we could make it delicious to other animals. This would be an opportunity to allow you to stop having to fight an animal. You could use it as a distraction, couldn't you? Take off the jar and toss it, and then run. Yeah, that's right. I've had all I can bear. Exactly. I actually like the idea, because isn't the friend cantrip pretty tame? I mean, that would definitely be a common magic item. If we made something like that, that's common for sure. Friend. And friend is a terrible cantrip, because after you've made friends, it now wants to kill you. Yeah, remove the aggressive stuff from it, and we're in business. I actually think that might be a good way. So maybe we could pillage the spell and make it part of this. We just need to give it a name. Okay. Hashtag name the sweet sticky jar stuff. So Spirit Wolf, I think you're on the right track there. That's actually a really good idea, because that becomes a cantrip. That's a very small effect. We could probably even extend it beyond just 1 minute. We can get rid of concentration, and it does a lot. I think that's a very, very smart idea. Yeah, get rid of the violence after the war. That's I think imperative if we're going to do this. A pot of animal friendship. I suppose you could call it a pot of animal friendship. What else do we want to call it? Dairy. Otherwise, it's going to be a pot of animal friendship. Friendliness. Okay. For the duration we can make it 10 minutes. Pot of friendship. Pot of animal friendship. Pot of animal friendship. I guess we're going with pot of animal friendship. For 10 minutes. Do we say 10 minutes? Tell me if you think that's too long or not long enough. I don't think that even an hour. I feel like an hour. Is an hour a big deal? How long is charm? The charm spell has a duration, right? So the charm spell would be a good gauge. And as long as charm is not higher than level 1, which I don't believe it is, correct? So that means we could use the time frame for charm, but use the animal friendship thing as our effect. Charm person. 1 hour. We're going to give it a 1 hour effect. Why not? It's Winnie the Pooh sauce. Okay. Pooh's pot of animal friendliness. Friendliness, not friendship. Pooh Bear's friendly sauce. Okay, for 1 hour. Don't freak out. It's just an animal, people. For 1 hour, you have... No, we're not going to do that. You're not going to have advantage. No, when the spell ends, when it becomes hostile towards... No, we're not doing that. We're getting rid of this. And... Do we say advantage on... I don't want to even do advantage. I just want to... Can we just be friends? Can we just have a magical effect that just works? I mean, that's where my head's at. It's like I don't want to have everything insist on being something that is... It has to have a dice roll involved. Can we not just make a magic item that just works? An hour? They'd be following you. You nervously not knowing when the effect wears off. 5 minutes of friendliness. Yeah, I'm inclined to go with. I'm actually inclined to go with the idea that it's got to work on an animal only. It's got to work on a beast. Let's get it right down to the nuts and bolts. We want it to work on a beast, and not only do we want it to work on a beast. Maybe that's not the right spell. Friends. Friends are... Animal friendship is a first level spell. We just use the animal friendship. The spell lets you convince an animal that means that you hear no harm. And you hear it, 24 hours. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Okay. The effect fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. I'm not even going to worry about the wisdom saving throw. If one of your Kemens harms the target, the effect ends. This is probably where we need to be. So we're going to change it out, and we're going to pump it up a little bit. I still don't feel like it is a bad thing. I feel like we're still in the realm of this will work. So let's get rid of that. Pooh's anger removal. Pooh's anger removal. You guys, I know you guys are tempted to put Winnie the Pooh in there. I do get it. I am tempted to put Winnie the Pooh in there, but that will cause us a lot of trouble, so we won't do that. This, okay. This, this sticky substance lets you convince a beast you mean no harm if the beast eats it. You got to get them to eat it. Okay. If the beast eats it, that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. We don't even need to worry about the beast within range because it's not going to have a range on it. They have to eat it. If you can't get them to sculpt it down, it ain't going to work. Okay. And no, we don't need to worry about that bit. The intelligence factor is probably the thing I want to have. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. The effect fails. The magical effect fails. Okay. Otherwise the beast is charmed. Beast is charmed. We're going to do brave brandy. Really? Hostile or weary to and disinterested or curious. Yeah, I don't want to go I don't want to go near any of that. What is the range ability to step down a beast demure? I don't remember. Crazy calm snappers. Is charmed. We need to get rid of this. Remove this link. Charmed. Is charmed. Otherwise, the beast is charmed by. Okay. Just whoever it sees first. Whoever it sees first now this has got a long effect. If I remember right, this spell lasts ages, 24 hours. We're going to give it 24 hours. Why not? It sees for 24 hours. Okay, if you or one of your companions harms the beast, harms the charmed beast, the magical effect ends. Okay. We need to make this a consumable. It needs to have a single use, and we need to give it a name, of course. And I think there are lots and lots of different names here. Remove fear effects. Yeah, I see where people are going with this. Okay, so what do we have here? Hostile to weary, crazy snappers, different hour, that may be no. Pooh's bears friendly saws. Pooh's pot of animal friendship. Pooh's pot of animal friendship. We'll just call it pot of animal friendship. Does it really matter? Probably not. We've just changed some of the parameters around this thing, that's all. And it's a single use item. So pot has enough for a single use. That gets rid of them trying to use it multiple times. Turning into a Wolverine for 10 minutes. Wolverine whiskey. Nice job. Okay. So that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. We've got that and that and that. And I'm going to write down the name Magic. Now, how do you spell mistletoe? For the life of me, mistletoe, the plant. Mistletoe? Is that it? Oh, mistletoe, as in mistletoe, it's a common nature for plants. Okay, so that's mistletoe there. That's the word mistletoe. Okay. We don't really have mistletoe here in New Zealand, so I've got no idea how it's spelt. Paste. Mistletoe. Magic mistletoe. I'm going to let you guys consider what the heck magic mistletoe could do. Shenanigans are afoot, buddies, because I am thinking... Do you know what I'm thinking? I know what I'm thinking. Mead marmalade. Actually, I like that idea. Honey candy. Honey candy. I like the idea of honey candy. Here we go. So let's... So I'm going to go hashtag. I'm going to take a break. It's top of the hour. So what do I want to do? I want to hear some ideas from you about how we can make some interesting magical effects. What is a fun Christmas magical effect? I want you to start thinking about that. Not the name of it, it's the magical effect. I'm pretty sure that's pretty clear. Top of the hour, Spirit Wolf, I am aware. So I will highlight this. Since my brain is going in this direction, I'm probably going to include it. And then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll have about an hour to do the rest of it. So yeah, we're definitely not done. We're far from it. But I am going to take a break and I'll be back in 5 minutes. You guys keep thinking and I'll be back. Hello, Todd. How are you? Turkey carcass of holding. Oh, God, here we go. Some of your suggestions there are quite funny. The snow globe of confusion. Oh, my gosh. I feel like that has to be a one we do. Snow globe of confusion. I love the idea. I really do. I think that's brilliant, that one. In any case, let's get back into where I was. Snow globe of confusion. I'll come back to this one here since you guys have already got some ideas. We'll just take some of the ideas there. If I haven't, I'm going to go back and look at some of the other ideas you presented. But somebody has written down snow globe of confusion, and I can't help myself but write that one. Snow globe. Globe of confusion. I'm assuming that we're using the confusion spell. Would that be right? Yes, Spirit Wolf. Yeah, I like the idea. 10 feet of the mistletoe. That's actually not bad. Yeah, and acts as a recall for the old songs and epics of the clan history. Let's see if I can find confusion. What level is confusion? I don't know about you, but if you've ever seen a snow globe and not felt confused, I know I have. What level is the spell? It's a 4th level spell. It's a very high level effect. So to be thrusting confusion in, oh dear. Maybe we can make it do something else. Assaults and twists the opponent's mind, spawning delusions, provoking uncontrolled each creature in the 10-foot radius. Point to choose must succeed on some saving throw or cast it. What if we shake the snow globe, and when you shake the snow globe, it snows in a certain radius around you? What do you think about that, Dungeons and Chronics? Because your snow globe idea is really good. But I'm thinking, what about if you shake it and it just snows in a certain area around you? Whiteout. I suppose we're essentially doing whiteout. Is that like fog cloud? Maybe it's fog cloud that we're just... Fog cloud? Oh, Love and Rockets, Ball of Confusion, or the Temptations version. I actually think that maybe that's what we want to go, is we want it to... It's a 1st level spell. That means it still sits under being a common magic item. So its concentration lasts 1 hour, so I'm fine with it lasting 1 hour. You create a 20-foot radius sphere of snow, scented, not fog, on a point within range. The sphere spreads around corners and areas, and its area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until the wind, a wind of moderate or strong, greater speed, disperses it. So this is actually perfectly adequate. Let's take this idea and sync it into our page, shall we? I don't even think it needs to create a cold effect or freeze anybody up. I don't even think it needs to do that. So we'll make a few adjustments to this. Formatting. So we've got the formatting right. Snow globe of confusion. Does it still feel like a snow globe of confusion? I feel like I would be confused. Suddenly it started snowing around me. This is definitely a wondrous common magic item. So we've got copy that, put that in there. Okay, so I need to describe it. It is a glass globe of say a village covered in snow that a glass globe of a village covered in snow that when shaken throws snow shaken has snow float around in the globe. For say 1 minute. They're usually about that. Okay, that's good. If you shake the globe, now shaking the globe I'm going to count as an interaction, so no action, no bonus action, none of that nonsense. Let's get rid of all of that. No. Does that make it super powerful? Yes, it does. Should we make it an action? If you shake the globe, okay. Okay, you can shake the globe as an action, fair enough, as an action to activate the magical effect. Okay, you create a 20-foot radius sphere of snow, of falling snow. How's that? Warmth, villages and direction. Lots of good ideas there, Derry. I'm going to go with this one. I think it's going to work. Centered on a point. Centered. Centered on the globe itself. On the globe, the sphere spreads around corners and its area is heavily obscured. It lasts for the duration or until, it lasts for the duration. We want to give it an actual duration. What is the time frame? 1 hour. So let's go here. It lasts for 1 hour or until a wind of moderate or greater speed, at least 10 miles per hour, disperses it. That's our item. I think that's going to work. As long as you shake it before the snow settles, it can remain in effect. Yeah. I mean, look, I think I'm going to let you guys fiddle with that. I think that gives us the basic gist of it. That gives us our effect. We won't worry about evaporation. That's just making it too complicated. But heavy obscurity in an area suddenly means that you can escape. Like that would be quite handy. It's like, I am in trouble, we are in trouble, shake it, here heavy obscurity and run away. And it's funny. It's really funny. So I like that idea. Good. Let me just go up, 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 and see where the ideas started coming through. Dairy. If ingested by a human, he sits down for the whole day, capable of fighting no more. Okay, all right. I'm not sure what alluring for 15 minutes. Okay, giddiness and singing for X number of time. Okay, yeah, this is mistletoe. Okay, forces family members to not talk politics or religion at the dinner table before, during, or after the meal. Effect lasts 4 hours. Okay. Turkey carcass of holding. Every time you reach in, you pull out another neck and more gizzards. Yeah, really? Yeah, exit a recall. Nice. That's the scarf is now drooling over the prospect of what? The holy decorations. Now, holy decorations sound like a cool idea. Whiteout for blowing snow. Yeah. Love and Rockets, Ball of Confusion, or Temptations version. Colder than Fog. Illusion of Snow. Before evaporating, an hour of moderate snow. Da, da, da. Norok. Boots of Arctic Travel. Mates, when you click the heels together, you can transport into the snowshoes. Norok, you look. You did such a good job of spelling out what it is and what it does. That is on fire, Norok. Like, well done. That's really, really clever. Let's take that, shall we? Let's put it in here. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to just scroll on down a little bit and make sure I've got plenty of space to drop it. I still want to come back to the magic mistletoe, but I think your idea, your boots of Arctic travel, are a brilliant idea. Utterly brilliant. So I'm just going to copy and paste it directly from the chat rather than try to re-type it all. Sorry if that sort of fiddles, messes things up for people, but they're just going to be faster, I think. So we'll take this. We'll eliminate the... clear the format. Arctic, is it Arctic travel? Okay, Arctic travel. It's got to be, what are they going to look like? Simon's Misfit Toy. Simon's Misfit Toy? What have we got here? Tree decoration. And what was this other thing you got here? Simone's Misfit Toy. Not sure what we're doing with this, but that's let's just figure out Norok's thing here that he's put forward. We're going to make it uncommon. No, common. Common. Yeah, it's a wondrous item for sure. What is it going to look like? They got to be furry boots, right? I feel like they need to be furry boots. These furry white boots come up to the knees. How's that? Okay, this is where we got to take your idea So when you click the heels together, they can transform into snow shoes, skis, ice skates, or climbing boots. Skis. How do you feel? Do you mind if I add snowboard? Because I feel like a snowboard would be kind of fun. Red boots with bells. You want me to make it red boots with bells? I don't know, dude. It seems a bit funky. Red boots with bells. Furry. I think furry white boots is fine. If you think that white is not going to work here, Noroke, you tell me if I need to make it red, then I'll make it red. But I think white's actually perfectly fine. So snowshoes, skis, ice skates, no, because the idea is you have 2 feet, right? So going to be climbing boots, skis, there's 2, snowshoes, ice skates. Actually, it's perfect the way it is. It's perfect the way it is. While wearing these boots, snow and ice do not impede your travel or count as difficult terrain. Is that about what we're up after? Do as you please, good sir. I was just posting something that came up to mind. It's brilliant though. I think that's great. I think we're all good. Scarlet seal shoes, seal soles. Dear. Okay, so let's do this. I like this. This definitely feels like it works. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy with that. That's good. We've got a lot of traveling stuff going on here, I've noticed. Has anybody else noticed? We've got a lot of traveling. Now, the magic mistletoe. Will I get to it? A magical tree decoration. Did anybody come up with an idea for a magical tree decoration? Hashtag. What would a magical tree decoration do? What would a magical tree decoration do? Okay. Simon's Misfit Toy. I'm kind of interested what people had, what you had in mind with that one, but we'll come back to it. Magic mistletoe. Okay, so let's see if I can take an existing thing, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to double down on charm, I think. I'm going to double down on charm because it's a low-level spell. A Christmas weather trap. Tell me more, Dungeons and Chronics. Tell me more. I'm interested. I am listening. The bells are fine. Sound doesn't travel far in snow. The bells are fine. Sound doesn't. I'm not sure. The Star of Good Vibes. It casts calm emotions on any stressed out creature nearby. Dear. All right, interesting. Got ideas. Yeah. Let me just percolate on that one a little bit, and we'll see. Okay, so we've already got an effect that is kind of. I want to double down and get a little naughty with this. So even though it looks like the same effect, I'm actually doing something. Am I? I am. I want to go further. Instead of animal friendship, I want to do something much more. Let us take this, copy, Okay, so let's take this and let's really crank up our magic mistletoe while you guys are coming up with some ideas. I'm still looking. Keeps a tree from losing needles until the decoration is removed. The last thing off the tree is the curbside, and then it withers instantly. Okay. All right. So a sprig, isn't it? It's sprig of mistletoe. Mistletoe that never decays. Never decays. Yep. Okay. This sprig convinces this mistletoe sprig, I guess. I'll just try that. Mistletoe sprig convinces all humanoids within 10 feet humanoids within 10 feet that they love each other. I'm getting away. Get it. Let's get rid of the intelligence. Let's say the intelligence doesn't work. We just want it to work on everybody. Like how to crush that combat encounter that was about to happen. Pull out the sprig and the magical mistletoe. Mum slippers, really? He's returning from a fantastic Christmas evening shopping, stared at the star for 10 minutes, let out a big ho ho ho, and then he knew the night was literally okay. From losing, it would be convenient. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm not even going to put in a saving throw on this. I'm just going to like anybody who's within 10 feet of the magic mistletoe sprig is like affected. It's all humanoids within 10 feet. No, all creatures, great and small, all creatures. I'm putting all creatures. That means everything. Humanoids, beasts, monsters, the whole blooming lot. Can you imagine what would happen if suddenly you're in a battle with a yeti or a polar bear and suddenly it decides that you are its mate? How long does this last? Okay. That your joy will be full and love each other. That is joy will be full. Yes. So let's see if I can. Okay, so small toe convinces magically convinces all creatures within 10 feet that they love each other. Otherwise and lasts for 1 hour. 1 hour. We won't get too long. That's 1 hour of funny hijinks. How's that sit for you people? I know it sits perfectly fine for me. If you or one of your companions harms... Okay. If you... Okay, so if anyone... If anyone harms the magically charmed creature. So somebody outside of the range, the magical effect ends. We're not going to make it a single use item. Ho-ho! We're all singing now. Ho! Oh, yeah, yeah. This is going to be hilarious. That's potentially 1 hour of hijinks. The mistletoe sprig magically convinces all creatures within 10 feet that they love each other and lasts for 1 hour. Okay, if we want to harm the magically charmed creatures, the magical effect ends. Now, what if you wound up with the wrong species in together and like this mate, this could get X-rated, but it would be funny. PG-13, PG something, maybe an R. I mean, who knows? Okay, I'm going to leave it as is. We were dealing with magical trinket stuff, weren't we? And somebody was trying to give me some ideas around stars and various other things, and so we need to do a magical decoration of some kind. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're doing all right. Okay. Those affected grapple for the group hug. Yeah, it's a group hug. Dear. Love that does not end. The cookie jar of misbehaving. When a creature reaches into the jar without permission, it must make a DC 10 degree saving throw, take 1 bludgeoning damage as the lid closes on its left finger. Okay. I'll take it. Let's put it in. Fair enough. I'm just going to copy and paste it straight out of there. Norok, you're doing very well, I have to say. Let's just take that now. Let's just shove that in there. Why not? We can do that, can't we? Sure we can. Of course we can. We'll just do that now. The cookie jar of misbehaving. Good Lord. It's like a little trap, isn't it? Somebody had a really good idea that they put for. Pinch, yeah. No, absolutely. I would pinch that idea. Misbehaving. So let's go down. Put that there. Another space. It is wondrous item. Common. I don't feel like it requires anything too fantastic around it. It's just funny. When a creature... Okay. A large jar of... Large glass jar of delicious looking frosted cookies. Okay. Chimney escape. Really? Chimney escape? I may have gotten my hand slapped from from sneaking too many cookies. Yeah, well, I like it. When a creature reaches into the jar without permission, it must make a DC. Now, we're not going to make it DC 10. You know how I feel about that. But DC 13 is perfectly fine. DC 13 dexterity saving throw. Saving throw. So what you do is you put this into your adventure, and it must succeed. It must succeed on a dexterity 13 dexterity saving throw, or take 1 bludgeoning damage as the lid closes on their fingers. I think that got it. Yeah. That's like a little trap, little magical trap there. That's really cute. I love the idea. That's quite brilliant. My mum just made me so many cookies. There was no lack of my tummy siblings and her delight too. Anyway, nice, nice job. Well done. Very impressed. Now I feel like I have missed somebody's idea around the tree decorations. If anybody feels like there's something wrong with this that I haven't thought of, or I've missed some aspect to it, you let me know. But right now I'm pretty happy with that. That looks really good. No. Somebody said something about a star. Start at the star for 10 minutes. I don't know. No. Keep going. Up. The star of good vibes. It casts calm emotions on any stressed out creature nearby. Norok. Within a particular range. I think that's what we were aiming for. So let's do that. Let's put a star on a tree. So, man, you're getting all the really good ideas today, mate. You really are. Let's see if I can find it in the chat and just port it over. Here we go. There it is. Don't feel bad if I haven't taken your idea, people. Okay? Don't feel bad. Now, we're going to have to use calm emotions as a spell to formulate the rest of this thing. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's got to be a silver star too, right? Do these tools avoid the pinching damage? No, it's magical. Help, we need someone to figure out why the children in town are losing their fingers and reward 3 dozen freshly baked cookies. Okay. Star of good vibes. Star of good vibes. So this is a different type of trap, isn't it? Basically, it's still a trap, but it's a different type of trap. What we are dealing with here is a different kettle of fish. Very, very clever, I have to say. Calm emotions. I don't know what rarity that is, but we'll have a look in a second. It's charm person, calm emotions. Just rolling this back. Give me a second. It'll come up. The dad shopping. Calm emotions. What is calm emotions going to come out as? It's going to be interesting. Calm emotions. What level is this spell? It's the 2nd level spell. So it's going to be an uncommon magic item. Which is fine. It's alright. Each humanoid in a sphere does when you choose a creature can choose to fail a saving throw if the wishes. Fails the saving throw. Choose one of the following effects. Okay. Okay, so we'll take part of this. Okay, so this is, so this is going to be a little bit, I think the frightened effect is probably the thing we want to deal with, right? Copy. And take that and put it over. Magic item, spell, and monster creation are my strength. Yeah, I believe you. It's descriptions and roleplay that I am weakest. Well, I feel like you're giving yourself a hard time when you probably aren't. Okay, cast calm emotions on any stressed out creature. Wait. So, okay. So what it is, it's a gold star. It's a silver star. Silver star tree decoration. Okay. This is a sparkling sparkling silver star tree decoration. Each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere centered on the star must make a charisma saving throw. A creature can choose to fail the saving throw, and if it wishes. If a creature fails its saving throw, it is no longer frightened. I think that's it. No longer frightened. So this is no longer frightened. That's what I think we'll go with. I think that works pretty well. Tablecloth of illusion. A gift from a stranger for a poor family. Whenever a provider placed on the table looks like a noble meal, the utensils appear as crystal or silver, and sour beer tastes. Sour beer. I am lost. You've got me. I'm completely lost. I actually like the tablecloth of illusion, but I don't know where we're going with this. So that, okay, so this is, so we get rid of the frightened condition. Bold. Very, very specific magic item, I have to say, but still very cool. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so roll me some percentile. No, don't roll me some percentile dice. I tried that before and it just didn't work. So don't even go with rolling percentile. I don't know what to do with Simon's misfit toy. What is the Simon's misfit toy supposed to do? So we got this the sticky substance. We got to there. A delicate glass ball painted with snowflakes, capped with a metal loop with a tiny hook attached to it. Okay. No, we've kind of done something like that. An owl figurine carved with whalebone. Nah. Expedition log with missing pages. No. Sewing box, scrimshaw, brooch made from small insect casing. No. Fabric droll bearing an angry expression. A set of wind chimes made from seashells. A unicorn's horn, a piece of sea glass shaped like a unicorn's horn. Well, we got a couple of ideas. I think actually we did better without this table, frankly. I think we actually did a lot better without the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch that. Will I? No. What do we got here? It's probably time for me to go anyway. Star of good vibes, basically something that affects people within a certain range. 20-foot radius is pretty good, and they're no longer frightened. So you could carry it around with you too, right? A cookie jar of misbehaving, which is like a little trap, which does like 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Magic mistletoe, which is hilarious because it's going to cause all sorts of shenanigans for an hour as they try to figure out who's going to be hooking up with whom. The boots of Arctic travel are brilliant. I really like what you've done there. That's awesome. So we've got that one. We've got the snow globe of confusion, which basically causes a snow flurry in the area. The pot of animal friendship, which is pretty cool. Basically, we get to make some beasts our friends. It's very Christmassy. There's not a lot of destruction and carnage going on here. I'm glad to see it. The Snow Strider effigy, which is, and I'm going to just put down here, and it'll be beer. Effigy, beer. And then next one we've got is this suitcase of holding, which is basically the bag of holding. So we've got a few. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think we did a pretty good job today. I think Noroak needs to get the big thumbs up on both sides because he did a lot of the work here. A lot of really good ideas. It was marvelous to see people's ideas flowing and some of the ideas that were popping out. This can be hard to do. And much harder when you set a particular theme. Like if you say we're going to make something on a particular theme, that's really difficult to actually achieve and do well. And so, yes, I was really impressed. I actually think that those are all really cool items. These aren't things that I feel like would be a big issue in your game. If anything, they will probably be hugely useful to you to progress the story rather than to slow you down. So quite happy. And the fact that, like, one person in the party is going to have this. It's not like you can have the bear with multiple riders. That's probably not going to work out. So yeah, I don't know that we could say that was a wasted chunk of time. That was actually really, really cool. I am so impressed with some of the ideas that have been presented today. Really, really good ideas. Anyway, it is definitely time for me to go, and I will see everybody tomorrow, or those of you who are up for it. I will be talking about the Hooked Horror tomorrow. So more Dungeons and Dragons monster lore, and I will be doing some biology on the monster. To be frank, I should just call myself Frank rather than say Fred, because I keep saying to be frankly, Frank. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about the biology. Not very easy to do, as I've discovered, but yes, it will happen. In any case, I just want to say thank you to all of my patrons. Thank you very much. You will find this goes up onto Patreon at the end of the week, so you can access it, and it will be something you can edit easily. It will not be locked in any way, so you can muck around with it and make adjustments if you want to. I want to thank everybody who's been part of the live stream or watching the live stream. Thank you very much for being here today. And for everybody who's been watching the replays of my live streams, my edited videos, and putting up with my shorts videos, I totally appreciate it. So wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, or the wee early morning, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.